I'm Dave Quickle, and I run Stony Loam farm in Charlotte, Vermont. It's a small vegetable farm growing a lot of different crops for a CSA and for local wholesale markets, grocery stores and hospital, restaurants, and then the CSAs here on the farm and everything else we deliver around town. I have been farming more or less for 20 years. I had a job during the summer, just a local thing, something, really an outdoor, something that I felt good about and was like active, and I loved it right away. It clicked like that, so that was that. Sort of one of those people that takes the long range view. Like, the volatility that we experience, is it due to global warming or is it just volatility like has always happened? I don't have a broad enough view. It certainly seems like we get worse storms now than we did 20 years ago, but that's such a short frame that it's hard to know, like, scientifically. The hailstorm, it was just a quick, it was like one of those storms that sort of just appears out of nowhere, like a nice day, and all of a sudden there's a weather front that moves in, and it's like within minutes the wind's blowing 60 miles an hour, and there's just like this massive downpour that turns to hail that then pushes away and is gone. The whole thing was like a half an hour long, but in that half an hour, we lost a lot of crops. Hail is really destructive. We grow a lot of lettuce, and lettuce, if it has little holes all over the leaves, it sort of loses its marketability. So that was sort of a nightmare. Places that are wet are going to get wetter, and places that are dry are going to get drier. So we're in a place that's pretty wet. And already the worst seasons for us tend to be seasons where it's too wet. You can always irrigate. We always have surface water that we can come up with to irrigate if it's too dry. 2 dry years for us are good because we can pump the water onto things. 2 wet years, there's nothing you can do as far as crops that are in the field. But what I do as far as management, and what is certainly a big trend in Vermont, is put up more greenhouses. And so, just greenhouses, I find greenhouses, used greenhouses for sale. I've got a greenhouse through a government grant program. I bought, I get them everywhere I can. Right now we have 6 greenhouses. I have 2 more that I'm gonna take down this winter and start putting up at some point in the next year. And that's certainly a good form of crop insurance. In all honesty, in Vermont, it's gonna have a little climate benefit. If it gets slightly warmer here, that's not a bad thing. However, it also, like, look at this winter, like, where if it's global warming, it's been like the coldest January and February, like, in a long time. And so, hard to know. They say, if it gets a little bit warmer, like, what do they say? Like, maybe in 50 years, farming here will be like farming in Pennsylvania. Which is where I grew up, and certainly a longer growing season, and a longer growing season is more money you can make, it's simple as that. I do fear the volatility, of the weather. Really wet years are definitely, if we did really flip a page, I guess I could, if I started to see a trend where it was like year after year we're getting 150% of the moisture that we traditionally got, then you couldn't build enough greenhouses to protect yourself from that, and that would be quite an issue. After Irene and what happened to so many people, there's certainly an increased concern in the community.